Welcome to Inside Marquette Basketball. I'm Sophia Minert here with Marquette men's head coach Shaka Smart here at the Al McGuire Center. And Coach, your team, we're getting into the middle of the grind of the season, right? Your team currently on a bye week as they're getting ready for Butler on National Marquette Day. Most recently, a big home win against Creighton, and then over the weekend, a loss to Seton Hall, but a close game, a tight finish there at the end. Coach, just overall, you've talked about Marquette defense, your team getting back to Marquette defense. We saw that in the Creighton game, and how that's helping you guys generate more offense. What are you seeing from your group?
Well, when we've been at our best, we've definitely led on that end of the floor. With the youngest team that we've had here in my 5 years, it's definitely been elusive at times to be consistent on that end. We're still working, scratch and claw on every single day. During this bye week, we'll get a chance to spend a lot of time on defensive details and just helping guys understand that everything matters on that end. Your stance, your talk, your readiness, your positioning, all the things that happen before the play. And then when the play itself happens, winning, as we say, the moment of truth. So whether it's getting over a screen, whether it's being in the right position to help your teammate when they're dealing with certain actions, whether it's moving your feet and putting your chest on a guy, all those things really, really matter. And when we play our best, that's what we do.
And I think one word we're hearing a lot from you and from your players recently is the aggressiveness that you want them to play with and the commitment to that. What does that require of them, that aggressiveness that you're talking about?
Well, it requires presence. First and foremost, you have to be in the moment. It's hard to be aggressive if you're thinking about the past or the future. And I think most people that don't play would say, well, why wouldn't you be in the moment? But it's, in some settings harder than you might think. Guys really, really want to play well, so sometimes, particularly on the defensive end, you might be thinking a little bit about the last play offensively or a play a couple possessions ago. So you have to be present to be aggressive. Number two, you have to take a mentality of it's me or him. And I've got to make the more violent play. When we say violent, we just mean aggressive, tough, nasty, physical. In our league, there's very, very few fouls called in most games. And so the more aggressive, more physical, more tough team has a huge advantage.
How is that leading to the offense that you guys want to play with, maybe getting out onto the floor, transition, right? Like setting up kind of more of the offensive flow that you want for your players?
Well, I think if you watch almost any Big East game, and certainly the vast majority of ours, the games often get determined by plays that are defense to offense. It is very, very difficult to defend in transition after a steal or after a turnover. It's very difficult even after a missed layup when a team gets a rebound and goes the other way just because of the spacing of the floor. And so if we can have more of those plays where we go from defense to offense than the other team, we have a huge advantage. And that's an area where I think of late we've made progress, we're getting better. For our team, I think recognizing we have to have plays where we turn our defense into offense, and then we have to limit those plays from the other team.
And in the Creighton game, you shared that you really challenged Royce to be more aggressive on the offensive end. How do you think he responded to that challenge and just the production that we're seeing from Royce and the confidence that he's playing with right now?
Well, it was as much of a challenge. It was, hey, this is what we want from you, and this is what any basketball player wants to hear is we need you to shoot 15 to 20 times in this game. He only ended up getting 11 field goal attempts on the stat sheet, but he got fouled a good amount. He was aggressive. He got around the basket. He dunked the ball multiple times, which is a big deal. And so he liked it. Royce is not afraid to take on a challenge. Royce is not afraid of a moment. And so if you tell him, hey, this is what we need from you, then he's going to go after it.
I think we spoke about this with Demarius, right? If you show me, I'll play you, and if you play me, I'll show you, right? What is Royce showing you right now with the production that he's given you over this last handful of games? And we're seeing, more double-digit scoring games from him, and how he's kind of growing into his role now in the starting lineup.
What's interesting is coming off of last season, he was on the Big East all-freshman team, and in the offseason, we had a lot of talks about what he wanted out of his sophomore year, and the season did not start individually for him the way that he wanted it to. It didn't start the way that we wanted it to as a team. But we had a lot of talks. We had some deposits in the bank about the fact that sophomore year is one in which you can make incredible growth from, let's just say, the first half of the season to the second half of the season, and that's exactly what he's done. He's almost doubled his scoring average. If you compare those two, his aggressiveness is way up. Even on the defensive end, he's much more assertive and much more aggressive. So he's doing what you want from a guy when he goes from maybe having 30-some games under his belt to about 50 games under his belt. Those extra 15 or so games matter, and you see a lot more confidence in him.
Let's talk about Adrien Stevens a little bit too, because we're seeing him kind of really develop and grow in these last couple of games. Big impact on the Creighton game, and then in Seton Hall, 5 assists for him, a really impactful performance for him. What are you seeing with Adrien and his growth in his freshman season?
Yeah, he's growing so much into the player that he can be. He's such a conscientious young man. He wants to do the right thing. He doesn't want to do the wrong thing. He wants to impress. He doesn't want to disappoint. And so you want him on the more assertive end of those spectrums. You want him going after what he wants as opposed to trying to avoid what he doesn't want, because when you get in avoidance mode, it makes you a little bit tentative. And one of the things that's been really neat about Adrien is he has gotten more and more assertive and aggressive with how he's played. He understands now, I'm a legitimate Big East starting guard as a freshman. And maybe he didn't think of himself that way at the beginning of the year or coming in. And it's exciting to see him playing with more aggressiveness. There's so many more notches for growth. I think he can become a dominant defensive player. I think he can become a guy that puts the ball on the floor more and attacks on the dribble more, gets in the paint. You saw some of his really good passing in the first half of the Seton Hall game. And he absolutely is demonstrating he's a guy that we can run a play call for, whether it's out of a timeout or after a free throw or walking the ball up the floor in a set situation, and get him a shot, and he's going to knock it down.
Shaka Smart's interview is presented by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University. Inside Marquette Basketball is brought to you by Aurora Healthcare, the healthcare choice of Marquette Athletics.
My time at Marquette was great. I met a lot of my best friends that'll be in my wedding one day, and won a lot of games, shared a lot of special moments, and ultimately just grew up. Right now I am playing basketball in Rio Grande Valley, Texas for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers for the G League, the Houston Rockets affiliate, and I am also working as a financial advisor at Baird.
Where Are They Now is brought to you by Aurora Healthcare, the healthcare choice of Marquette Athletics for over 20 years. We're back on Inside Marquette Basketball with head coach Shaka Smart. And coach, congratulations are in order to Nigel James Jr. Now back-to-back weeks as the Big East Freshman of the Week. And Nigel is he's doing everything right now. Over the past week, 18.5 points per game. He has had double figures in scoring in all 12 Big East Conference games this season. Second in the Big East in scoring as well, nearly 20 points per game. Again, we've talked so much about NJ, but he has spoken as well about the confidence that you guys have given him, that your coaching staff, his teammates, and that's what's leading to the production that we're seeing on the floor.
I would choose Marquette over any school, to be honest. Like, the relationship Shaka builds, the attention to detail he takes. There was times where I wasn't playing my best and I felt really bad about myself, and he would always stick around and just hit me up, even when like other coaches wouldn't hit me up, where maybe they think, oh, I'm going to go on to the next player because he's not playing too well. Coach is always there for me, and he's a great human, so I love him for that.
Well, you want guys playing with a clear mind, and you want guys playing with confidence and aggressiveness. You know, I think for him, it's been a great evolution going all the way back to his junior year in high school. He played against a very, very talented player at Lehigh in practice named VJ Edgecombe, who ended up being one of the top picks in the last NBA draft and is having a very good rookie year. I remember going to watch him in a practice. It was early in the year, it was in October, and they were playing full court one-on-one, and NJ did not back down one iota. I mean, they were nose to nose, face to face, defending each other, going at each other. And, you know, one of those guys was, you know, about to become, you know, what VJ became, but you saw the competitiveness in NJ, and you knew that was really, really special. And so I knew he had that in him. He went through, different twists and turns in high school like any other player. And one of the things that was great about the recruiting process, even before he committed to Marquette, is the conversations that we were able to have, both NJ and myself, and then also NJ and Cody, to try to support him through what was a challenging stretch because, where he went to high school, they're playing a national schedule and playing against the very best in the country. His senior year, he was taken out of the starting lineup and made the sixth man. And he was playing well. It wasn't because he wasn't playing well, but the ability to be able to have communication and plenty of conversation, even before he got here, to support him in his journey, I think has gone a long way towards him being able to hit the ground running here and then just continue to ascend over the course of this season because he knows how much faith we have in him.
Well, and you've talked about, right, we talked about it in the previous segment, when a player like Nigel shows up and they care about all the right things and they care about putting on the Marquette uniform, they quickly become a fan favorite, right? And we've seen that of how much this fan base and his teammates, right, are starting to really trust Nigel on the floor and let him shine.
Well, there's no question about it. I'll start with the fans. There's again, we talked about this earlier, energy reciprocates. And NJ, of all the guys on our team, the energy that he brings to the court for games is infectious, and it's something that people want to be around, and it's something that adversely affects the other team. Those things all go together. So our fans recognize that. It's really cool, now seeing fans wearing number 0 Marquette uniforms, because that was 11, that was 1, that was 13. And now he's only played 20-some games, and now the jersey we see more than any is number 0, which is pretty cool. As it relates to his teammates, there's no question about it. Again, when you're out there playing, I can tell you this back from my playing days, you want to be around confident players. You want to play with guys that have an assertiveness and an aggressiveness. You want to be around guys that have a competitive energy to them so that you can kind of try to match that and connect with that. And that's what you see from the other guys on our team.
Well, I think what we're seeing too is he's got a windmill dunk in him in the Creighton game. And the reaction, right, from your players, from everyone on the bench, from Stevie Mitchell right below the basket, from the fans. I mean, it was one of the best highlights of the season.
Yeah, he is a heck of an athlete, and he demonstrates that in a lot of ways. When he got the steal, I knew he was going to do something. I actually tell him in practice and when they're doing layup lines and stuff to save your jumps. But that's a good time to use, one of your jumps. He's an explosive athlete, and, I think we'll see more of those kind of dunks in the future. I
liked what Chase Ross said after the game, too. He stole that from me. That's my move, so.
Well, Chase knows a thing or two about that type of dunk, and, I thought the other dunk from that game that was such a great highlight was the connection between NJ and Chase in transition in the first half, where NJ threw it up to Chase. I mean, the reality is Chase, Adrien, NJ, when those 3 guys are truly connected out there on the floor and playing well where they're multiplying each other, that gives us a chance to compete with or beat anyone in the country. Obviously, 2 of those guys are freshmen, and Chase is a senior, so they haven't been together a ton. But, the reality is we're in February now, and it's time to really, really multiply each other to go do special things together.
Inside Marquette Basketball is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hello. My name is Stevie Mitchell. I'm from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania. These guys over here, they all call me Stu.
Because we're all new here, so playing hard.
He might be the best defensive player on our team on the ball.
So, Stevie, what did we do today?
We organized the pantry. We just came here, trying to help.
The Coliseum.
We're in Milwaukee. We're at Fiserv Forum.
Hey, get your tickets, get your tickets.
Yo, I need some buckets. Don't force anything. Let's go! Finish. we doing, Stu?
We're doing great. You see how we doing. You see how we doing. We're having a very Merry Christmas. You know? Are you taking pictures?
Both.
Mitchell, wide open three. Buried. Why not Stevie Mitchell? Why not? The body control from Stevie Mitchell is so impressive. Speaking of which, it's the drive and kick. Mitchell, does he have one more in him? Yes, he does. Those kids. I know they love that kid. You can tell the way they respond to him. Stevie Mitchell, what a first half for the junior from Reading, Pennsylvania. Well, he doesn't get a ton of credit for what he does, but there he attacks and scores. And he's more aggressive. This is what he wants to see. Mitchell is a cookie monster.
Yeah, the 36 minutes is impressive for him because Stevie playing 1 minute takes the energy of a normal player playing 3 minutes. So him playing 36 minutes is like a normal person playing over 100 minutes. I'm serious. What this guy does is not human from the standpoint of both ends of the floor and the relentless energy that he brings and the energy that he gives to his teammates.
Stevie Mitch, congratulations on winning the McCahill Award. I'm so proud of you. You deserve it. You did so many great things during your career as a person, a player, and a student. I'm so proud of you and can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Stevie Mitch, congratulations, my brother, on winning the McCahill Award. That's just another testament to who you are and what you do, which is be great. So continue to be great, stay hungry, stay dangerous. My boy, you already know what it is. I miss you. Love.
Stevie, what's up, man? I just want to come on here and congratulate you for the McCahill Award. That's big time. That's the highest honor any student athlete can get at Marquette. So super proud of you. Nobody more deserving, no better person, no better athlete. Congratulations, man.
What up, my dog? Hey, man, I don't expect nothing less of you. Congratulations, man. Another award on the bookshelves for you. You deserve it more than anybody else, man. I love you and I appreciate you always, my brother.
I'm going to share with you a nugget that I got from the opposite side from Coach Miller. At one point he said, fellas, Stevie Mitchell is burying us. That's not news to you. How would you categorize him?
Such a unique player. Such a unique player. You can't quantify it. He willed us to come back when we were dead in the water. I love the guy.
Coach, we know how you feel about Stevie Mitchell and just the impact that he had on this program for he and Oso Ighodaro to be recognized as back-to-back McCahill Award winners. But for Stevie to come back, spend some time with your team, even give a pregame talk for them before the Creighton game, what did that mean for your team?
Well, first of all, congrats to Stevie. And he's a human being like the rest of us, so he appreciates being acknowledged and recognized. And it was a really, really special day for him all around. His parents were able to come. His brother's in law school here at Marquette, so it was a family affair. And it was such good energy having him in the building. You know, it just reminds you you love when guys come back, and especially guys that, you know, have a recent connection to the current guys on the team. He did give the pregame talk. It was short, but it was very, very powerful. And he basically just told the guys, go after it. And you know what has made us special here when we've been at our best. Go replicate that. And the guys did a great job of that, especially in that first half.
And Stevie spoke about he still watches every game. He looks forward to watching every game. And it was clear how much he cares about this team. And he still uses we. As he's talking about it, he says we. It was very cool to see that from him.
Well, he's a high-level person. He understands the power of pronouns. And, you know, Oso does that as well. He's a couple years removed from being here, but whenever he talks about the team, it's we need to do this. You know, we did that. When you look at Stevie and Oso, and when you look at the other people on the list of who have won the McCahill Award, you understand these people. They all have become something so incredibly special, even beyond the sport that they played. So Stevie's future is incredibly golden in basketball and beyond, as is Oso's. Right now, honestly, for us as a program, we're still learning and figuring out how to make up for their loss. And on one hand, it's humbling. On the other hand, it's really, really exciting, because those guys didn't come in here as finished products. They didn't come in here as what they were at the end of their careers. Oso Ighodaro played 38 total minutes in his freshman year. So now it's about, with Adrien Stevens, Nigel James Jr., Michael Phillips, our young redshirts, even our sophomores, how do we continue to grow those guys as people? How do we continue to bring the high character that they have inside of them out when it matters most in a competitive setting?
Inside Marquette Basketball is presented by Pepsi. Thirsty for more. As we wrap up with head coach Shaka Smart here, Coach, we're looking ahead. It's National Marquette Day, one of the biggest days for the Marquette fan base, for your team as well. Expecting a huge crowd at Pfizer Forum, like always, a lot of excitement as Butler comes back. And also a day to recognize Coach Tom Crean and his 9 seasons here at Marquette. Of course, the Final Four appearance, 5 NCAA tournament appearances, and I know you've been vocal and supportive of what Coach Crean has meant to you personally, but also his impact as a leader of this program.
Absolutely. He fundamentally changed the Marquette basketball program, really from a very, very early time in his tenure here, going obviously through the Final Four run, the transition to the Big East, and then all the foundational Marquette guys that he brought in here. And he set a standard of excellence for years and years and years with his program. And it was important to me. We had conversation about this as an athletic department going back a few years, that he was honored and recognized. And so it's really, really cool that he's going to go up in the rafters next to Al, next to Hank. Those guys are, the founding fathers, if you will, or they didn't found the program, but they made the program, obviously, the national brand that it became. And, there'll really be nobody ever like them. But I don't know that there also will be anyone ever again here like Coach Crean from the standpoint of just the impact that he made. And I just can't wait to get a chance to see our fans have an opportunity to recognize Coach Crean and for him to take that in, because it's incredibly deserving. He's a phenomenal coach. He feels so strongly about this place, which is that's the way it should be. It's a complete mutual love, and I'm excited about that being recognized on Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be a great day to recognize Coach Crean, and I know it means a lot to you as well to carry on that legacy and the brand of what he and so many other coaches before him established here with this Marquette program and continuing that winning tradition. So thank you, Coach Smart, for your time. That's Inside Marquette Basketball here with Shaka Smart.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,